What if I told you that one religion has quietly shaped the foundation of over half the world's beliefs, laws, and moral thinking, and yet most people don't fully realize its influence? We are talking about a faith that is over 3,500 years old, a community that has survived empires, wars, displacement, and persecution, and still remains here today, still thriving, still preserving its identity with remarkable strength. In this video, we are going to explore Judaism. And I know some of you might feel like you already know a little about it, but by the end of this journey, you may discover things about its history, wisdom, and traditions that are truly surprising and deeply meaningful. So stay with me, because this is going to be worth it. Let's begin. To understand where Judaism starts, we have to go back thousands of years. Roughly around 1800 BCE in the ancient Middle East. In the land of Ur, which is in modern-day Iraq, there lived a man named Abraham. According to the Torah, which is Judaism's sacred scripture, God spoke to Abraham and gave him a command and a promise. He told him to leave his homeland and go to a land that would be shown to him, and in return, he would become the father of a great nation. This moment is traditionally considered the beginning of Judaism. What is even more fascinating is the way Abraham responds in these stories. He does not simply obey without question. Instead, he engages, he challenges, and he even argues with God. There is a well-known moment in the Torah where God is about to destroy a city, and Abraham questions this decision, asking if the city would still be destroyed even if righteous people were found within it. In the story, God listens. This idea that human beings can question and reason with the divine becomes a central theme in Jewish thought. It is not about blind obedience, but about relationship, dialogue, and understanding. As the story continues through generations, Abraham's descendants, known as the Israelites, eventually find themselves enslaved in Egypt. This is where one of the most powerful narratives in human history emerges: the story of Moses. Moses was born into a time of oppression, raised in the household of Pharaoh, and later discovers his true identity as an Israelite. He becomes the leader who confronts Egypt and guides the Israelites out of slavery. According to tradition, he leads them through the parting of the Red Sea and into the wilderness, where they wander for 40 years. During this journey, Moses receives the 10 Commandments from God on Mount Sinai, an event considered one of the most sacred moments in Judaism. Geographically, these events are set across regions we now know as Egypt, Israel, Palestine, and Jordan. The land that the Israelites ultimately journeyed toward, is often called the Promised Land or Canaan, sits at a crossroads between continents, which played a major role in how ideas and beliefs from this tradition eventually spread and influenced surrounding civilizations. Now the big question is, what do Jewish people actually believe? At the core of Judaism is the belief in the oneness of God. Judaism is considered one of the earliest forms of monotheism, meaning the belief in a single, indivisible God. There are no partners, no divisions, and no physical form of God in the way many ancient religions describe their deities. This was a revolutionary idea in a world where polytheism, the worship of many gods, was the norm. Another central idea is the covenant, which is understood as a sacred agreement between God and the Jewish people. In this relationship, God promises guidance and protection, while the people take on the responsibility of following divine laws and striving to live ethically. This is not framed as superiority, but rather as responsibility and purpose. Judaism is also deeply rooted in sacred texts and teachings. The Torah, which consists of the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, forms the foundation. It is not only a historical narrative, but also a legal and moral guide containing 613 commandments known as mitzvot. These commandments cover every aspect of life, from personal behavior to business ethics and relationships. Alongside the Torah is the Talmud, a vast collection of rabbinical discussions, interpretations, debates that has been studied and expanded upon for over 1,000 years, forming an ongoing intellectual tradition. One of the most inspiring concepts in Judaism is Tikkun Olam, which means repairing the world. This idea teaches that every individual has a responsibility to contribute to improving society through justice, kindness, and ethical action. It is not seen as optional, but as a core obligation of human life. In this worldview, God is not portrayed as a distant figure on a throne, but as infinite, beyond human understanding, yet still deeply connected to the world and to human experience. In daily life, Jewish practice varies depending on different traditions and denominations, such as Orthodox, Conservative, and Reform Judaism. Despite these differences, there are shared practices that connect communities around the world. One of the most important is Shabbat, the weekly day of rest, observed from Friday evening to Saturday night. During this time, work stops. Electronic devices are put aside. Candles are lit, meals are shared, and families spend time together in reflection and prayer. It is a structured pause in a constantly busy world. Prayer is also a regular part of life for many Jewish people, often occurring 3 times a day. And the synagogue serves as a central place for worship, learning, and community gathering. Dietary laws known as kosher also play an important role, guiding what can be eaten and how food is prepared. These include restrictions such as not eating pork or shellfish and not mixing meat and dairy. Jewish holidays are deeply symbolic and historically rooted. Passover, or Pesach, commemorates the liberation of the Israelites from Egypt and is celebrated with a special meal called the Seder, where the story of the Exodus is retold through symbolic foods and rituals. Rosh Hashanah marks the Jewish New Year and is a time of reflection and renewal, often marked by the sounding of the shofar, a ram's horn with a powerful and haunting sound. Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, is considered the holiest day of the year, during which many fast for 25 hours, pray, and seek forgiveness for their actions. Ethics also play a central role in Judaism, especially through the concept of tzedakah, which is often translated as charity, but more accurately means justice. Giving to those in need is not viewed as generosity alone, but as a moral duty and responsibility. It is part of living a righteous life rather than an optional act of kindness. Despite having a relatively small global population of around 15 to 16 million people, Judaism's influence on the world is profound. Many of its core ideas helped shape Christianity and Islam, both of which trace their roots back to Jewish tradition. Concepts such as human dignity, moral responsibility, and justice can be traced to ideas found in ancient Jewish teachings. The belief that every human being is created in the image of God became a foundation for later human rights philosophy. Even the idea of a weekly day of rest has influenced modern labor practices around the world. In modern times, the State of Israel, established in 1948, has become known for its innovation and technological advancement. It's often referred to as the startup nation, due to its strong culture of entrepreneurship and research. However, there are also many misconceptions about Judaism that need to be addressed. One harmful stereotype is the idea that Jewish people are all wealthy or powerful, which is simply not true, as Jewish communities exist across all economic and social backgrounds. Another misconception is that Judaism is merely an older version of Christianity, when in fact it is a complete and independent religion with its own beliefs, laws, and traditions. It is also false to assume that Judaism excludes non-Jews from moral goodness, as the tradition teaches that righteous people of all backgrounds have value and a place in the world to come. Ultimately, Judaism is not just an ancient religion frozen in time. It is a living and evolving tradition built on conversation, questioning, and reflection. It encourages people to think deeply, act ethically, care for others, and continuously work toward improving the world. It is a tradition that teaches responsibility, rest, justice, and compassion in equal measure. And perhaps one of the most powerful teachings from the Talmud captures this spirit perfectly. Whoever saves a single life, it is as though they have saved an entire world. That idea alone invites us to reflect deeply on the value of human life and responsibility. So now I want to leave you with a question. What part of this surprised you the most? And is there another religion, culture, or ancient tradition you would like to explore next? Let me know in the comments because I read every single one. And if this journey gave you something meaningful to think about, consider sharing it with someone else and subscribing for more explorations into the world's greatest stories, beliefs, and philosophies. Till next time, take care of yourself and those around you. I'll see you in the next video.